Destination Freedom's Christmas extravaganza. Let me get the soundtrack. It doesn't get much better than this. So if you got anything you're drinking, start now, because yeah. Now that's a lovely sentiment. That musical interlude was brought to you by my assistant Amma. She's the one that was the lovely gift giver of that holiday treat. And this week's show is special because we're rolling into the holidays, uh, and that controversial subject, which we'll probably address or talk about. Um, and and I want to kind of talk about some of the things that have happened this year, and close that out. And you can mute that sound over there, please. Thank you. And the and so we'll talk about that, and then I'll talk a little bit about what we can expect next year, and all that. So it's a time of year in which you get to reflect on how things are going, and such as that, and hopefully you'll be doing that as well. And it's not that this time of year or New Year's is that in it of itself is special. You really can pick any time that you want to start fresh, start new, whatever. You can always draw that line in the sand and say, at this point moving forward, I'm going to be a better version of myself, or you're going to live your life or do something that's a glory to your God. And I think that's awesome. Never forget that freedom is a spiritual concept, and it's all about you living this life as true to your principles and true to your God, and that glorifies Him, that where you can love people to really create a legacy for yourself, and that something that can be remembered forever. So I would like to thank. Well, first of all, I'd like to thank my wife, Lisbeth, and for her patience with me and loving me and going again with me and all. I'm thankful for um, my two adult children, Rebecca and Michael, and their families, and especially thankful for my son Michael, who does a lot of this media stuff and technical stuff, and it's too much for me, but it's he seems to be really good at it, and it's a joy to be with him, and so that I'm thankful for. He's just over that way, and and then of course I'm also thankful for. Um, we're speaking about in the office here for Amma and for her help. And I'll talk a little bit about that as I talk about what's happened this year. I want to I'm very thankful for my ex wife, Diane, my children's mother. And I'm thankful for her love and support and for who she is, and glad that we're all a family together. And that's a blessing. And of course, my brothers and my sister, and I'm thankful. I'm thankful for my father, um, and all that. I won't go much further than that on on that subject. Where we're going to try to make next year something special for that. Uh, um, I'm going to hold my breath and see how that goes. But but anyway, that's exciting. I'm thankful for our Destination Freedom board, and for um, oh, let me back up a little bit. I want to back up to my daughter, Rebecca, and what I'm thankful for. So I am thankful for her and her husband, Dalton, and um, my grand son, Rowan. And but what I'm thankful for is how much Rebecca has given herself to love me and my wife, Lisbeth, and helping Lisbeth, and just being present. And so I'm grateful for that. So those are just some things that are coming up, and so this, as I think back at this year, I mean, this has been a crazy year. Um, just with my son Michael moving close and then getting involved with this business and helping me and all. That's been amazing for this year. Wouldn't have seen that coming a while back. And then that, in my prayers for Destination Freedom and this work, wanting somebody to come to the office and be a part of that, and Amma stepped up and heard that, was interested, that it was a good match. I mean, talk about the level of commitment to literally move from Hawaii to New England. Now that's crazy, don't you think? That's crazy to move out of paradise into the cold New England. And it is cold here in New England. It's too cold. I'm going to head south at some point really soon here. But I'm praying for warm stoves, nice thick layers of clothes, and heat. So that's the way the winter can go, and hopefully it's festive and full of sunshine, all that stuff. So I am thankful. Thank you, Amma, for being everything you are for us. So anyway, she's over there as she's looking at some of this stuff here. So and I'm thankful for our board, Destination Freedom's board, and I don't know, I can I'll just give a shout out to Ron and Scott and Ted and Danny, and so I'm just so grateful for their love and support. Hopefully, I'm not forgetting anybody, but yeah, just helping me stay on course and stay committed to the process. Listen, I mean, it's um, it's quite an effort to just be able to be available to people and to help them navigate some of this governmental crap, and it is all that. But I just want you to know that in this, helping you is a huge part of the joy of my life. It's the work may be somewhat of a chore. Some of it is just because there's so much, but really helping you and being available to you in your process, it really is the purpose of my life and my joy. And so for that, I'm very thankful. Um, yeah, so we're rolling into the holidays. And listen, I love the holidays. And listen, I just want you to know I'm a Bible guy. So um, there's the word Christmas doesn't show up in the Bible. It's just, the whole how people do Christmas, just so you know, is very pagan. Okay. It's not a Christian holiday, not from a biblical standpoint. And to recognize, let me just say, just want to give it some perspective. Jesus Christ is not a stinking baby right now. He is the oldest man that's ever been alive. He's over 2,000 years old. Okay. He's not a baby. Can you imagine if we did your birthday party and we're like, get goo goo, we're going to accept the baby? Listen, the world rejected Jesus Christ. They crucified him. Okay. So it wasn't, the world wasn't all hopey liking that, oh, Jesus is born in the manger, all bull crap. Okay. And I mean that because look, he's alive and he's a fierce spirit that's able to deliver to the uttermost. He's a grown human who's got wisdom. Okay. He's not a baby in a manger. So we do that every year. It's almost vulgar. So, but listen, that's not what I like about Christmas. Okay. So I like Santa Claus. No, I'm just kidding. No, speaking of Santa Claus, I'm thankful for my brother Mike, Mark, and my sister Marlene. And yeah, my brother Mark loves this time of year because um, he's doing his Santa Claus stuff. That's what he likes to do. He's an actor too, just like the like the rest of the Gronsky family is in the theater, loving that stuff. So but yeah, so when I say that, I'm not against the beauty of this time of year. Is what we learned. And look, I wasn't always this way, but I would call this household holidays. And Christ has never been in Christmas, so that whole nonsense is just immaturity. Okay, yes, keep Christ in your life all the time. Do that, but he's got nothing to do with Christ Mass. It's a Catholic kind of a mass is a celebration of the dead. Jesus Christ is not dead. Anyway, so it's just crazy talk. But anyway, and Jesus Christ wasn't born on December 25th. How stupid is that? There's no historical record. Jesus Christ actually was born September 11th. Imagine that, 3 BC. And if you want to read, and this is based upon the Bible, based upon historical fact, and based upon astrological evidence of the conjunctions that occurred, the Star of David, or the star, and I wasn't the Star of David, it was the Star of Bethlehem. Um, and of course, Jesus Christ was born in the lineage of King David. Mary was of that story. So you can read that in the Bible and know that story. But that took place in the fall or in September. That was the Jewish New Year was at that same time, So it's amazing when Christ was born, they were sounding trumpets because, they did that annually whenever a king was coronated, that kind of stuff. So it was amazing. But if you want to read something great on the astronomical evidence of those conjunctions in the stars, where the Magi were taught by Daniel to look for the first coming of Christ, it's all in there. So I'll have a link in the video that you can click on to read a wonderful Star of Bethlehem. It was the director of, I think it's the planetarium in Monterey, California, that shared that from a publication from Hillsdale College called Imprimis. You can click on that. That's a wonderful read. Read that these holiday times. You'll have a great time. This is Sammy Emmy for the winter lager. So this is a celebration of our festive time. Oh, you should get like a profit on this. All right, we still have these for sale. We'll always have these for sale. These are good ones. The Citizens Rule Book. You can go to the website. I think these are $5. We'll mail them out to you for $5 at Destination Freedom. That's a wonderful read if you haven't read that. So the holidays. What I wanted to say about that is I always think of the holidays beginning with Thanksgiving, and what a great time of year. My wife, Lisbeth, being Dutch, she finds that the Thanksgiving holiday, that Thanksgiving giving of thanks, is a wonderful holiday, and the world should do that. One day set aside as a holy solemnity to give thanks to God for your family, for what you have, what you hope to have and be, and all that. It's really quite beautiful. But the real reason she likes Thanksgiving is because she likes that cranberry sauce. That's what she does. She likes that. Yes. Well, the other night I was coming, we had some leftover Thanksgiving turkey, right? She says, "Do we have any of that cranberry sauce left?" I said, "I don't think so. I think you ate it all." And so she says, "Oh, could we get some?" I said, "Well, look, I'll drop by the Cumberland Farms, and if they happen to have some cranberry sauce, I'll pick it up for the leftovers." And so they did. They had 3 cans. I bought all 3 cans. They were probably $9 each. Who knows? It was a convenience store. But anyway, I bought the cranberry sauce for the little missus. And so that's kind of fun. So Thanksgiving rolling into, and listen, the thing I don't really care about Black Friday and all that. Listen, I am weird about gift giving. Now, my ex, she always liked to say, "What do you want for Christmas?" Or "What do you want?" It's like, I don't want to tell anybody what I want. I want you to know me enough to know what I like or want. And sometimes it's okay. You might not know what somebody wants. It doesn't matter what they want. You get to take some time to think about the person and get them something that maybe you think is wonderful. And it's okay if you screw that up, because not only is it important just to be thoughtful about your giving. One of the things I love about my son and the way that he gives is that he's very thoughtful in his giving, because whether he buys something or whether he makes it, it's really heartfelt. And I like that a lot. And so there was weird things in my upbringing for gift giving in my household. I won't go into those. They're too negative. But it wasn't always a pleasant thing about gift giving in my house. So I hated that it was not pleasant, So I believe that gift giving should be Um, with it should be you should be gracious in receiving gifts, even if you don't like them or you want them. Receive a gift graciously. Thank somebody that even think about wanting to give you stuff. And look, there's plenty of what they call those um, gag gifts. Do gag gifts. Do anything that's giving from the heart is wonderful. There should be no obligation in gift giving. There should be none. Get rid of your expectations, whether receiving or giving. Lose that crap. That ruins it all. I mean, gift giving. Listen, the greatest gift that God gave was his son and the gift of Holy Spirit. That's the true giving is lovely. So the idea that we can do a little bit of gift giving to each other. Here's another thing. Don't wait for Christmas to give gifts because you might not make it to Christmas, or the one you love may not make it to Christmas. So just remember that if you have the means in you to give right now, give in this moment is always best. If you should give all year round. You think of somebody like, oh, I think they'd like that. That would be lovely. So that's an important part of, I think, this time of year, is just to get your head straight about gift giving. Speaking of gift giving, we Destination Freedom was given this nice tree ornament. This is for our freedom tree. This came from Greer's Portrait Studios in Kentucky. And there's a beautiful picture. I believe that they took this. Let's see if I can hold this still long enough here. I believe that this is a picture of, looks like Santa in his shop. Or what's he doing? Yeah, it looks like he's pouring some milk in his cookies. Maybe he's at someone else's house. This is here's another. Oh yeah, there's a wider shot of Santa. Anyway, this ornament's made on, looks like, feels like it's some metal, some type of metal. It's kind of heavy. It's beautiful. I believe that their photo studio took this picture and put this on this ornament. So we're so thankful for that, and that'll always go on our freedom tree. So that's Greer Studios sent that. So thanks, Leanne. That's and so appreciate that a lot. And so and I just want to state that I'm thankful for all of our clients. If I don't mention you, there's too many to mention, but I love you all, and I'm thankful for that. So this year has been a real amazing time of growth. It was my expectation. There had been a lot of shifts from the time we started being online. Let me tell you, one of the things that I'm hoping for, I'm praying for, and that is, here's my Christmas wish. Okay. And that is the Destination Freedom website. I'm hoping that by New Year's, by the first of the year, we'll have the new site launched. And that'll be lovely. It'll have a new look and all that. And I imagine, just like anything that's new, it might take some time for us to navigate and all that stuff, but we're going to see how that's going to play out. So that's cool. And so you can reach out to us at destinationfreedom.org. You can email us at statecitizen@destinationfreedom.org and reach and email us and ask. I think we have some discounts right now for the full passport process. So if you want to reach out and ask about that, we'll be glad to do that. But you're going to need to do that before Friday because we're going to be shut down between once we wrap up on Friday. We may come back to the office on Monday, but pretty much from Friday till like January 2nd, the office will be quiet. And so our communication probably will back up a little bit, but that's all right. We're still going to be here. So, and then what else? So this year, we have staff helping us, and that's a blessing. And we did an expansion in the office here, and we'll see how that's going to play out. We'll see how that's. Did some other question come in? Oh yeah. Oh cool. All right. So so next year, well, hopefully you can go to destinationfreedom.org, and tonight I'll have a registration for the class we're going to do in Acapulco, Mexico. That's in February. So that class um, is going to be on the 20th, the morning of the 20th and 21st. That's a Thursday and a Friday. Going to be a class. Yep, you can sign up for an Acapulco. Some people have already reached out and said that they're going to be with us in Mexico. That is a lovely little community there. We love being there with the people from all over the world. They're going to come in and be there on the 19th, I believe, on a Wednesday. I believe that's when I'll be speaking from the main stage. That's going to be uh, quite exciting. I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to seeing Jeff Berwick, and that'll be fun. And let them know that that you follow us at destinationfreedom.org, and that we build a community together. That's kind of cool. So yeah, so we're wrapping up this year and hoping for next year. One of the things I wanted to mention, and you can check this out, and that is, I was thinking, we're always looking for something to do, and especially New Year's Eve. But in the old days, people were partying all the time. At least when I grew up in the late '70s, early '80s, and so you could go almost anywhere and find some place or club to go dancing with, and all New Year's Eve. And these days, it just doesn't seem like that. Now they do like first night for many towns and all that stuff. But in Northeast, sometimes it's pretty cold. Um, but I was thinking of for New Year's Eve, I was going to do a Matrix commentary on the film The Matrix, and so we'd end up listening to The Matrix, and then I was going to talk about some of the things I hear. It's really an exciting journey to imagine how Morpheus helps Neo to be the one. And if you're looking to be the one in your life, and I'm talking magically the one in your life, then this commentary will help, and you'll see that the film really supports that. And so, what I'm not going to be talking about is how. I mean, there are matrices in our life. Things aren't as always as they seem, and that's an important thing to understand. And I'll talk about that. And but if you don't have anything to do New Year's Eve and you want to be a part of that matrix night, then you can reach out and enroll. We already have some people who are interested in that, and we have their contact information. But now we have this nice platform, and we'll do that matrix call. That'll be kind of fun. So anyway, that's going to be a commentary of the film The Matrix. So what you'll need to do before that night is to watch the film afresh. So watch the film and enjoy the first Matrix film, and then we'll get into a commentary after that, and we'll play the audio if you haven't listen to the Matrix, and then we'll we'll see how it goes. Okay, so if you'd like to be a part of that, then you can reach out to us at statecitizen@destinationfreedom.org, and and you can be a part of that. So anyway, that's something that's going on at that time. So I wanted to also talk a little bit about. Well, let me just see if I can get some of these questions out of the way. Are we? Looks like. Oh, let me see what I have here. Oh man, there's a whole bunch of stuff in here. I better. There's some strange folks in the chat. That's, well, that's fun. So let's get through that and see what's on there, and see lunar universe solar calendar. That's a good word, Colby. Yep. And there's Catherine on there. Hello, Catherine and Sam. And so Sam says, let's see here. Do you have any disposable gloves, plastic gloves, rubber gloves, cleaning gloves, surgical gloves at home? That's an interesting question. Okay, that's good. Did we block him yet, or just let what? Okay, so the answer to that question, Sam, we do. That's a staple in our house. Okay, so I think are we just supposed to submit questions here? Oh well, I'm glad you're on, Catherine. And yeah, you can just ask questions. We'll see if we can get them. so, so you wrote that. That's good, Michael. You said I have gloves. Oh, that's thanks, Alma. Oh, that's good, Alma. You're right, spot on there. That's awesome. That's good. Then say Catherine says, "Oh, Catherine has a serious question. My mortgage just got sold to a new company. Those Dastardly people. Okay. I have not set up a new online portal yet. Any chance of getting out of the loan due to the change? What steps should I take and figure out? Well, here's the thing is it depends on who owns that property. Okay. If in the bank transaction, a lot of times 70% that I've seen numbers like 77% of mortgages do not have um, the right and proper paperwork. It is a stinking mess because back in 2008, when they had the first collapse, the banking collapse, based upon the derivatives market, they would bundle. If you want to know what I'm talking about, watch. It's a wonderful film called the Big Short. That's going to tell you what it's about, where they would bundle crappy loans that people weren't going to be um, did not have good credit. They just were lending money, like putting people into debt. And so they had bad loans and they bundled them with great loans. They categorize those or classify them. And so then they would bundle them with good loans and then require, and they would call these bundles a top category of a type of loan, and people were buying them. It was a complete catastrophe, and so there was a big collapse of the housing market at that time because of that. So because of the way that paperwork was so bad, a lot of mortgages out there, the banks can't prove they own the debt. So, what I would recommend is you can reach out to your lender and ask them if they will certify that they have wedding signature copies of all of the documents, not just your document, but did they ever have it in what was given to you or allegedly? But and so you want to investigate if the paperwork was good. Also, there were robo notaries in which they weren't notaries or they didn't have people standing in front of them notarizing. They were just notarizing everything. All of that is illegal. And if there's fraud wrapped up in your mortgage, then the people who are you're paying may not own the property or can't prove that they own it, and therefore um, you might be able to step in and assume, and because you live there, be able to possess the property or challenge that who you would be paying doesn't even own it. Now, so if you go to destinationfreedom.org, at the top there's a header or a link, and it says it's called um, conference room or whatever it is. It's the far left top link if you're in on the website, and then you drop it down. There's some audio files in. There's the one called Low Deal Title. It'll talk about um, this type of stuff. So that's what I would do is I would do some forensic research and find out if the bank actually owns your property. Hope that helps, Catherine. Then here's Sam again. It says, uh, while you're streaming, would you wear the disposable plastic gloves, rubber gloves, clean gloves? That's great. This is a soul that has. So, all right. So, who's in charge of this? Is Sam still on? Is Sam still in the chat? He's gone? Okay, Sam's gone. Well, he's gone to meet his reindeer in the sky. Well, I'm just so thankful that he's so clean. Um, yeah, so that's lovely. I doubt it. As I say, I watch the stream because people wearing them gloves and all that. God, I just, it's probably Sam Rosenberg. What do you think? It's Sam Rosenberg, Michael? It is. That's so funny. Are they already deleted? Sparky says, Sam, you're safe, and the net protects you from the jar. Way to go, Sparky. I love that. Oh man, this guy's he's probably a glove distributor, so it's good. You're a bad troll. You should feel bad. Yes, that's good. He's staying on point. I think he's got quite a commitment. Um, oh, that's good. Sparky is good. Perhaps you should go somewhere else. Oh, let's go back and lose it. Okay, nice. Oh, that's good. Let's see here. Welcome to Sparky. Looking forward to a new Matrix here. Let's see. Yeah, and I think there's a new Matrix film coming out, so that'll be actually cool. And listen, the number 4 film it was just, it was just film number 1 review. It was not very good. They should have done a television so they could really develop some backstory and have a lot. That's what they needed to do with the film, The Matrix, and they also should have resolved it so that the machines were shut down or somehow they worked that all out. Um, that's cool. That'll be awesome. That's cool. And we'll listen to Low Talent Work. That's good. Yeah. So there's a talk on that. That'll be good. And we do assist clients in that. There's a 2-part process in that. I won't go into the details of that, but if you reach out, if you did want to talk about some of that, um, you can reach out and email, or we can set up a phone call. For at a state citizen at destinationfreedom.org. But again, we do that only for clients. So if you've done the passport process, that's cool. So is this Catherine that is on this? Yeah, this is she's on the chat. That's the same. Okay, good. Well, good. I'm glad we got that came up and answered. I want to get a couple other people who have asked some questions. There was one that said, question about the passport and card. It says, what when naturalized with oath and U.S. Oath to U.S. and certificate, how do you get a national passport, book and card, or maybe diplomat? Um, there are people that believe out there that you can go and get a diplomat card, and the State Department, listen, there's all kinds of private identification, and the State Department handles that all as private ID. The global passport, and all those are in the same category in which the State Department has to handle it as a private ID. And so these governments trust each other, and they have standards by which they go by. So they there's a lot of weird, strange things, and the government's not up for all of it. And again, you have a right to identify yourself, and that's your prerogative. But just because you do something doesn't mean that someone else has to accept it. All right. So being a diplomat, if you don't have someone that you represent, like for example, I'm looking to be a citizen with Liberland Project, and of course, I've already begun doing that with the Liberland Project. But I am going to. I would like to be a diplomat for them because I'm interested in representing their interests in America and other places. And so that um, I want to be able to help promote the project worldwide because it's a freedom project, and I'm very passionate and interested in that subject matter. So I could see that if they did set up, and I think they do have diplomats from Lieberland, I would love to do that because I'm never a spectator. I'm always wanting to be a part of or in the process of helping or doing something. That's just the way I am. Um, so yeah, but if you've naturalized and you've done a naturalization process with the State Department or whatever, then and we do help clients like that, then you would just be reaffirming and getting passport, book and card as a state citizen, and that your first citizenship is that state in which you naturalized in, and so that's known and that's part of the language in the explanatory statement. Um, so that's what we do. And yes, you can get the State Department will issue passport, booking card, but we want to make sure that you're doing that not as a federal 14th Amendment citizen, but a citizen of your state where you have your habitation and domicile. Um, Someone says here, greetings from Miami. All right, now that's a warmer place. And they say, I'll be attending Acapulco in February. Will there be a class? If so, which? It will be the state citizenship class. I'm going to do a live class down there, um, and it's going to be a discount. It's going to be $300 down there in Acapulco, and we're going to do that class. Normally, we do it in 6 hours a day, but you don't want to waste a whole day if you will if you're down in paradise. So we're going to do 2 mornings. So after my talk on Wednesday, I'll do Thursday morning 9 to noon and then Friday 9 to noon, and then people are freed up to do that. So we'll do 2 mornings and cover the material in the state citizenship class. So that'll be good. And So if you want to take the class live with us, you can join us down in Acapulco. We're going to be there in February. That There's a link. Yeah, you can do the Acapulco link, Michael, and that is going to tell you that the an Acapulco, is February. I think it's like the 17th through the 21st or 22nd. Is whatever it is. But there's actually a pre-party on the 16th, so we're going to arrive a little earlier than that. But like the 16th to like the 22nd, that following Saturday, that would be the 22nd. So yeah, that's when it is. And then Sarah, she says if she signed up for the she says if I sign up for the first course, state citizenship class, will this class show the step-by-step process to obtain state citizenship? And will the next step be applying for a passport as a state citizen? Well, that would be yes. It's really the state citizenship class is really going to show you about where the federal government came about, what was where did the states come from. And so we do a bit of a history in there. We deal with the Declaration of Independence. We talk about liberty and freedom and all those things. We move into the broad strokes of the Constitution, which is what created the federal government. And we talk about that, and we end up in the tax code so that you can see who has an income tax liability. You can be the one to determine if you are a U.S. federal citizen or a resident alien. And a federal citizen is one that is a 14th Amendment citizen. So you can determine whether that's you. Okay. And then, yes, we do the passport process where you will sign up as a state citizen and not as a federal 14th Amendment citizen. Um, Catherine, oh, did she ask on the website? Oh, did I miss that? Okay. Oh, for the passport becoming a state citizen, um, can can one spouse do that but not the other? No, everyone's an individual on their own. But the thing about that is that um, the IRS looks at husband and wife are the same. So if a wife has a tax liability, then the IRS could go for the husband's money and vice versa. So they look at them interchangeably as the same. So if one spouse is not going to do this, they should keep their finances separate from yours. Otherwise, the IRS will deal with them accordingly. And she says she has a W-2 job and can't switch to contractor, but my husband can, and that's fine. And listen, um, and whether or not the your employer wants to contract with you, yes, they can. It's not like they can't. They may not want to, and that's you have to just live with that. Um, but any company can have a contractor and do work, and you can have the proper tax documents, and we have those tax documents for our clients. And I was one of the things I'm going to do this next year. I think there's a couple things, um, and that is I'm going to do a class that takes people um, from being employed to to running your own business or however that looks for you. And then that's one aspect, or someone who has a company or corporation and pulling it out of the corporation and back into the private and doing a business that's not corporate. That's an important class for me to put together. We've spent a lot of time with a lot of clients on that, so that's there. And the other one we were going to do for clients, I think, is that we're going to do. I think I'm going to do an end all be all IRS class that gives the client lots of templates to use and how to respond to every IRS letter. And so I think that'll be a class that we can see coming next year, and hopefully we'll see that on the new website. So I'm looking forward to that. That website is being designed as we speak, and we're getting ready to move through the first phase of getting it operating so we can see how it looks. Um, so there's that. And one of the things that I was talking about last night, and we do a weekly client call. So if you're a client, you can call in, and it's not a call in. It's like this. It's like a studio where everybody can see each other, and I help clients deal with their stuff. And so there's no extra cost. They can just be a part of that weekly call. If it gets too busy, then we'll have to figure out something else. But usually we just want to give the client lots of support so that they can figure things out for themselves. One of the things we notice is that people come in and they don't know um, how to navigate the waters. We really want to get people learning how to deal with their government bureaucrats, how to utilize your government to get the things you need done, to enroll your representative, whoever that is, to deal with government on your behalf. I remember we're dealing with one client. It's interesting in the passport process, and this particular passport agency, um, had written a letter. We've responded a couple times to the same exact letter, and so we're dealing with this. So now we're going to have to reach out and let them know that we may need to involve a United States congressman in this process if they're going to fail to do their job. So we're going to do this. So Catherine says for credit card debt discharge, if one spouse goes through the station program, would we need all credit card debt in his name? Not really sure what you're asking in that. If debt is usually might be a tie to one person or all or whatever. Um, the debt discharge class is available to clients only. So if someone else is, we don't do debt discharge for federal citizens, because the bank will also, once they're discharging it, they will, if you're a federal citizen, then they may just determine, the bank will send a notice to the IRS as if they gifted you what you discharged. That way, the bank gets those assets covered, and although it may discharge, if you have a federal tax liability, then of course it's going to show up as a gift. That's not going to be good. Is the $400 discount for the full passport? Yes, that was something that was available up. That was actually at pass, is what I'm trying to say. But I would extend it because we're going to be in the office till Friday. And so if you want to get that done between now and Friday, then we would still offer, grant that discount. So that's for the full passport process. So thanks for asking on that. Oh, I'm glad, Catherine. I'm glad that you're on the stream tonight. So that's cool. So we have our holiday cheer. So we have our set behind us, courtesy of Michael and Amma. I think, Michael, you did a lot of this decorating on there. Amma always is a decorator, so she always adds good touch to it. But it looks like we have V for Vendetta, and we have Morpheus in the Matrix here. This little jar I've had for a lot of years. It's a change jar that says what the IRS missed. Then here is a plaque I got from Ed Griffin. I'm the acting president of Freedom Force International in New Hampshire. I got this awesome Freedom Club from Rafal. He sent that. That was a lovely gift. A Matrix mug. You can't quite see that. It says "Time to wake up" for a cup of coffee, and looks like a passport or something for the Free State Project. What is that? Other things? Long time Destination Freedom as a radio broadcast. That was on there. I don't see what else I have here. Other books, stuff that I've been into a long time. Yeah, that's cool. Here's a picture of Elizabeth and I. And then here's me standing with Ron Paul. How's that cool, huh? And this, by the way, this is Old Glory. This is not Stars and Stripes, okay? And so that's it. So that's, and of course, the Do Not Tread on Me. That's it. So, yeah, so if mortgage is forgiven due to improper ownership exchange, is that forgiven amount taxable by the IRS? Forgivable what? Like the bank's going to forgive you and all that? You're not getting forgiveness. So listen, here's what I would do. If in these forensic research process that we can do, and you find out that the people that been giving money to are not the owners of the property, that's called fraud, and that's abuse. And so here's what we recommend. If they, you do a quiet title action and you invite the bank to come in and prove that they own, they have title and that they have wedding signatures of the actual note that was created, the alleged mortgage debt. If they fail to do that, and listen, a lot of these guys have photocopies and not original wedding signature. If they don't have wedding signature, they don't have the documents. Photocopies are not original documents. So if they don't have them, you do the quiet title action, the court will quiet the title and dismiss them from having to make any payment to them. And then I would apply for a new title from the state, from as an abandoned title, and get title to your house free and clear. Then I would sue the shit out of the bank, and then ask the jury to grant punitive damages to the bank, which is triplicate damages for whatever it is that that they were wanting to scam you out of. And that's how I'd handle it. That way, not only you get free and clear your property, but that you also can receive damages from the bank for committing fraud. That's how I would handle it. And so otherwise, you want to buy your property straight out. I did want to. I did want to. I just want you to know that it was a number of years ago, and listen, the old thing about taxes, if you don't have a federal income tax liability, yeah, IRS, federal citizens have capital gains taxes all the time. So none of that is part of what we do. So it's not in my purview of whether something is taxable by IRS. IRS taxes income from whatever source derives. So that's where they're at. But if you don't have income tax liability, it's not relevant. Who do I need to contact to ask a few questions before starting the full passport process? You can always reach out to State Citizen at DestinationFreedom.org and reach out to AMA. And you can go to the website and sign up for the full passport process where it goes to make payment. You can make the payment accordingly. And then we'll be glad to there'll be hand holding, and we'll make sure that we get your copy of your DS11. You'll fill that out as a worksheet for us so we can fill out your documents. I'll need a hold harmless agreement from you. All that is at the website, the DestinationFreedom.org website. So that's what you need to do. So, okay. And we'd be glad to have you on board. What if some of your documents for your mortgage were signed through DocuSign? Well, they're doing a lot of that nowadays. And, the thing is that I don't, they usually will have, I don't consider an unsigned document as a wedding signature. It's a computer generated signature. So, and although the banks may and the courts may accept those things as those, they need still, even in the DocuSign, they need some kinds of identifiers. And if they fail to have them, or you're denying that you participate in them, the problem is that if you're disputing this without determining that they have the negotiable instrument and things like that, then they may move towards foreclosure. Now, they have no reason for foreclosure. That's one thing. We also recommend that people will always keep current on their payments while they're moving contrary to the bank, because the bank has easy remedy to foreclose on you. And so you want to make sure that all those payments are made. Don't stop making payments. No, all right. That was for AMA. Anyway, so anyway, oh yeah, we were watching Journey tonight. That was funny. Yeah, of course, you can reach out to AMA, and then she'll pass on. If I can get your contact phone number, I'll give you a call and we can talk about this, about the full passport process. Not a problem. We can end up. I can end up talking to you tomorrow if you like. And then so what else? What was that? We were wrapping up about the mortgage stuff and about the full passport process. Excuse me. So anyway, so we're looking forward to next year. This year was I have to say, with all the challenges and the expenses and all the stuff that was going on, we really were very busy this year. And thank God for Alma, who's really been bringing order. Like in the last couple of years, my wife hasn't been well, and I've been away from the office a lot, and so it's really caused a huge backlog. And we're really making way of catching up with that. And so I'm really thankful for that. A lot to be thankful for. So that's kind of cool. And what else? We're going to wrap up this hour. We got down to 10 minutes here. I'm so thankful for, hey, thanks for that email address. You guys are just the best. And I got a good team here. I feel the love. And who knows? Sometimes my siblings will come on. That's kind of embarrassing. So because my siblings, and then sometimes my wife shows up on these chats, and that's kind of funny too. Um, she's checking up on me, make sure I'm out here doing what I'm supposed to be doing. That's kind of fun. All right. So, well, listen, this has been, I'm glad I was able to answer some questions. And look, we'll have more questions. And if you have questions, you can go to the DestinationFreedom.org website, and they have a contact us section. And then, of course, you can always ask questions at statecitizen@DestinationFreedom.org. And we'll be glad to get those questions answered. What's last question? Oh, could you put on surgical gloves? No, don't. You can't quickly. It's a great question, Catherine. And you can't quickly. You got to do that in the next thing, of course. Just kidding. So, because that you should just play it straight. That's the best way to deliver that. But I know it would be like, oh no, it's a zombie thing. They're all coming at us. So no. So yeah, I'll do. I'll do. Uh, you know, sometimes smiling makes my face ache. So, but yeah. So anyway, who said this? Even smiling makes my face ache. You know, anyway, we'll see if anybody knows the trivia question of the night. Even smiling makes my face ache. Let's see who can figure out who said that. And don't Google search that because it'd be too easy. So anyway, no, we're not going to kick you out, Catherine. You have a place here. So. Well, listen, I love you all. I'm thankful for tonight. I'm thankful. I hope you spend a lot of great time with your family. Love them up, and keep it real. And there's a lot of scary stuff out there. You don't have to be afraid. No weapon formed against you will prosper. And be not afraid. You belong to the Most High, and He is fierce in love with you. And so you can be at peace knowing that you are the apple of His eye. So, all right. Uh, and says, I said, okay, cool. That's awesome. All right. Well, you guys are the best. I love you a lot. We'll see you next year right here at DestinationFreedom.org. Take care. Bless you. Did you? Oh, you.